We're gonna live here, right?
We're gonna live here.
It's gonna be fantastic.
Well, Lane, it was a much longer road than we expected, from about 3 months to 12 months.
Yes, indeed. But the cottage reveal is finally here.
So there it is, our first glimpse at the cottage.
Or non-glimpse, as we came to discover. But
Right.
I got a good smell.
Yeah. Well, Carter Burns of the Historic Natchez Foundation told us there's a cottage down there. So we went looking for it and eventually found a structure.
A structure. This is about as close as I got to it. We got to here, I could smell it, and I said, I'm not going any further.
So I bravely ventured in and just kind of shot some video to show you what was in there.
And this is what was in there.
And there's where the smell was coming from.
I think it's important to tell you that the plumbing was actually not connected under the house. The toilet had disconnected. The tub and sink had disconnected, so all the sewage was just running under the house. And then you can see what was in the house.
And it was hard to move around, just walk around in there. It was so full of junk. So you talk about the ultimate before.
This is the ultimate before. And it is our understanding that someone was actually living in this property.
Hard to believe, but that's what we were told.
I think we should also point out, at this point, we did have permission to go into the property, but this particular day, we didn't yet know that we were going to be able to buy the property. This was our first time over at Hope Farm, doing some early exploration, checking out what all was here. And this is one of the things that was here.
Yeah, there was a lot of activity going on in the main house, clearing out furniture and that kind of thing. And you couldn't get in there at all. Not that you could really get around and walk in here, but we did venture down the hill to check out the cottage.
Yeah, we were told, go down there and look and see. If you buy this property, you can live down there while you're fixing up the main house. They had no idea. They had no idea.
No, they didn't know. In fact, a couple of decades earlier, it was a very nice cottage. And in fact, the son got ready down there for his wedding.
Yes, the last owner's son, Ethel Banta's son, spent the night before his wedding in this darling cottage. He loved it.
Sure it was. Now, there were kittens in the bathroom. Now, again, this is not our property. We were told that the kittens were taken to a shelter.
Yes, but that was not our responsibility because we did not own the property. We would not own the property. This was in March that we saw it the first time. We would not purchase it until July. So we were told the kittens were taken care of, but we could not take any action on those at that point.
There's the living room / bedroom.
And this is the piece of furniture. Kevin came out and he was like, hey, I think there's a really cool, like maybe mantle or something in there.
It was dark, believe me. Okay. So this is maybe after we bought it and we'd actually started to clean out some of the greenery that was in the way.
Yes, and the first demo clean out had been hired out and done, so all of that biohazard had been taken out. And they literally had to hazmat suit up to go in there and clean it out.
Didn't he tell you it was one of the most
He said it was
disgusting?
the worst he'd ever done.
Yeah. Lane, are you in front of your cute cottage?
Yes, this is our beautiful new residence.
You want to go see our little beautiful cottage, Lane?
Where we're going to live in approximately 3 months.
Oh, you don't want to move in now?
I mean, she looks moving ready to move. I mean, who doesn't want their toilet on the front porch, right?
Oh, it's tipped over. Dang it. We can't use it now. I love that 3 months because I think we said 3 months for about 9 months.
We did. We kept saying 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. It was such wishful thinking. But now that the house is cleared out and you're seeing it clean, we saw it clean for the first time here. The extent of the damage became much more obvious. It became much more clear that we had a lot more work to do than we had anticipated to actually make this a livable space. The floors were completely rotten. You can't even tell how bad they were in this video.
Yeah, when we look at a property like this, we always look at, what is still there, what is good, what is usable. There was some wood there, but Not a whole lot of character, not a whole lot of...
No, I think had the H&F not specifically asked us to try to save this cottage, I don't know that we would have taken on it. This is one of the most monumental undertakings we've done for a couple of reasons.
Just had so far to go.
It had so far to go, and again, there wasn't a lot here that we would normally look at and go, oh, it's this is so good, we have to save this property. But I will say it did have some good history with the property. This cottage was built in 1926 by Catherine Grafton Miller for her cook. They had a cook that lived on the property. This was the cook's cottage. So it does have some historic significance with owner before last. So that does give it some importance with the property.
Here's going to be a little tour of the kitchen area.
Yes, the kitchen. I want you to see, you'll get a little glimpse of the ceiling here in a second. It looks like it's painted orange. It's not. That's just filth. That's just filth, grease and filth.
Kind of a mustard orange grease filth.
Yes, and the plywood is on the floor because there was no floor at all. It had rotted away. Behind the sink, once we demoed that out, it was an entirely termite-eaten wall from water intrusion over the years. I did think it was really interesting though how you can't really tell, but on the interior they had tried to mimic Greek Revival details. The little architraves over the windows are all pyramidal. They had tried to mimic the main house construction in this cottage.
Got some pretty heavy duty demo going on now. You can probably see the tub and the ground in the last video. Now we're working on foundation issues in the back.
There was so many foundation issues. I think we should point out the tub was on the ground. We just dropped it through because the joists under the tub had rotted away. So that was a cast iron tub that was being held up by the fact that it was glued to the walls. And once we started demo, we were able to just drop it through the floor.
And again, this is that bathroom area. There was a huge hole in the ceiling and in the floor. I mean, that end was about to fall off. Yeah. But once we got it demoed, then we can start to build back what little there was. So we're going to start our planning here in a second. Oh no. Oh no, the porch fall down. Actually, it took probably several men a lot of hard work to make that porch fall down. But it's down now.
We're going to live here, right?
We're going to live here.
It's going to be fantastic. Thought is I want to open this up right here so that that's all open to that space.
Here's 5 feet right here.
Hang on, I gotta clean my camera. Okay, now there's what?
Here's 5 feet.
It's
So
still
here's
dirty.
8 feet.
Yeah, I've got it where the bathtub's at the back wall, and then we've got sink, toilet.
So you've got a 7x5 bathroom. I mean, that's a good size.
Yeah.
And so then from here over, you just want to leave it open, basically.
Yes.
And so, I mean, it should be 10 feet. This is 15.
Whoop.
It may be just under 10 feet because of the wall width.
I think I did a 6-foot bathroom in width, but that's still 9
Well,
feet.
It's still 9 feet, yeah. I mean, that's plenty of room to put a bed. I mean, it's almost, you could put the bed facing that way. Would you want to do that?
I don't know, but I think I may want to put a window in there.
Are you still videoing?
Yeah.
We could do that.
So bump that out that way.
I mean, I'm thinking that's already 5 feet. So this is already 5 and 10. And we could just put the bedroom over there and the bathroom over here. Yeah, septic tanks over there, but I mean, I don't think it'd be anything to run to it. Leave the wall there.
But I don't want the wall there. Oh, it's already split like we want it split?
Yeah, just opposite.
5
and 10. Except you said 6, but I mean,
Yeah.
this is 5. Have to see.
You know, I was going to put a bathtub in here with a shower.
But you
It would be easier because there's no window in this space, so we can put the toilet on one wall and the sink on the other wall without having to. Now we don't have
window in there, right?
a wall over here to put the toilet against, it's gonna stick out. I mean, I guess we could just move the door over some. It's 20 inches. It's 24 inches deep. Mm-hmm. The tank, yeah.
Are you still videoing?
I am. And you can use what you want and not use what you don't want.
These are our spaces already. Need to Brad talk to her about that.
Yeah. I mean, we have to redo it all anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think you cut that over there. And probably move it across there.
Yeah.
You got a window in your
Bedroom.
bed area.
Yeah.
Take this wall out
Yep.
to here. And then you have to redo this wall.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. No, I think it's gonna be good.
These spiders, I'm a little worried about that.
Oh.
The spider infestation is a little creepy, a little creeptastic.
It's the cleanest thing in this room.
The spiders. Ah.
All right, you want to talk about bumping out?
Yes.
So, kitchen is 9 feet. That'd be I mean, if we bumped out through there, you put your washer and dryer on the left.
Refrigerator and
Keep the
sink
door
on the
where it
right.
is.
But would you want, I wouldn't, would we want a door there? Or do we take that out and just leave it open where it feels like it's open? Because we could utilize it really as part of the kitchen if we left it open. We could put like refrigerator, sink,
Storage.
yeah,
shelving.
pantry.
Mm-hmm. But you want to see all this stuff.
That's true, probably not. It's gonna end up being a huge amount of space for, and then the kitchen's gonna be super packed if we don't though.
Goes under this window.
So here, hold my camera. So right now, with no additional changes to that, I've got the stove here with the vent hood, and then I've got the refrigerator in this corner, a little cabinet with the microwave, sink here, and then we've got the banquette to be built in here, and then open shelves everywhere.
Open shelves above the banquette.
Yeah, open shelves literally like everywhere.
How you gonna
Like-
get to them with the table in the way?
Well, it's gonna be just like a little round table in the center, so you just walk. I mean, I'm sure I won't put things there that we use regularly, but
There's just nothing we can put in front of that window, is there?
there's not. I mean, we could bring that pie safe thing from Monticello and put it there, which is intended
Oh, yeah.
purpose to begin with, was to sit in front of the
Huh,
window.
that's a good idea.
Look at the grease on this. Like the ceiling is yellow from grease.
Yeah.
This is grease. That's grease. That orange is just grease. So. Yeah.
Yuck.
But better that, I guess, than actually having a window than no window whatsoever, which is what we have here. Like, you're just living here with no window in the house. Although that's probably the least horrifying thing.
So that's our planning stage, and it's funny watching that, isn't it?
It is funny to see how much of it came to fruition and how much of it changed along the way. Most of it came to fruition.
It really did. I mean, we change plans pretty regularly.
Talk about this. Talk about the foundation. You can see the back of the house. Every seal beam was rotten. How this house was still standing, I don't know. I don't know how it hadn't just fallen over.
I know, but you know, it was. We could still save it though. So, put some new seal beams in, jack it up. I mean, it's not a huge job to do.
Wasn't
really.
a huge job. It's not hard. I know people freak out about foundations. They're absolutely terrifying, but they're one of the easiest things to fix.
The whole front porch was terrible and rotting off and had to go. So we decided to make it a little larger.
I mean, why not? This is the South. We need a big front porch. You need a big front porch. And when you have a very small living space, having exterior space to live in is really, really, really helpful. And so we decided, let's bump it out in the front.
Get a lot of extra living space that way without having to heat it and cool it and all that.
And you look at all our worker bees. This is what's crazy. This is probably the house that we've used more outside labor on than we've ever used before, and yet it still took longer. This house took us almost as long to complete as Pearl took us to complete.
It did, I know.
Which is insanity. There was just a lot that had to be done.
Right. So it is a small job, which I guess is why we thought it would take less time, but we still had to do full systems, full electrical, full plumbing, HVAC. This is our addition off of the kitchen, which is going to be laundry room, closet. I think it was a very smart addition.
We did vacillate on this back and forth, back and forth. Are we going to do it? Are we not? For the expense. But now that we're here, aren't you glad we did it?
We just needed that little bit.
Well, there was nowhere to put a washer and dryer anywhere in this house. And I did tell you from the beginning, I'm not hoofing it up that hill to do laundry for, a year. Because we talked about just going ahead and putting the washer and dryer in the main house, going ahead and hooking it up. Mm-hmm. And I said, no, thank you.
But we are making steady progress. It looks a lot different now than when we did.
Now, should we tell them about the porch and the height on the porch?
I mean, we let some people loose and ended up making about a 6-foot porch?
Yeah, so
like
Kevin
I had the duck walk in there.
Kevin is 6'3". The gentleman that we had working on the porch is shorter than I am, so he's probably 5'4". He built the porch to fit himself and not Kevin.
It was not good forward thinking. So then the tree.
The tree.
Built that room back there.
We got a call one night. Were we at dinner? We seem to get really bad calls when we're at dinner. We should never go to dinner. And somebody said a tree just fell on the house and took out the brand new room you just built.
And that is a big tree. And we were very fortunate. I don't know if you can see that tree to the left there. It kept it from smashing the whole thing. So then we have to have the tree removed, and then we have to rebuild the room.
And it wasn't just, when we first went and looked, we were like, okay, it's no big deal. It just took out the new room. It just took out this one room. Good, we're great. Then slowly we started looking around and we realized it had massively dented and damaged the front of the new roof. And it had shifted and almost taken out a back pier on the back corner of the house, which then we had to rebuild the pier and redo the roof again. And we had just finished the new roof.
Not to mention rebuild the roof and remove the tree. So it caused a big delay.
Yeah, this was weeks worth of delay right here.
And just tough maneuvering. I wanted to show that chainsawing because, y'all, it is dangerous working on a tree that big. You have to be so cautious. When it shifts, I mean, it could just take out the whole cottage. It could roll on top of you. I mean, it's very dangerous.
We were very lucky that we had somebody very skilled on site to do this because he could look at it and see, if I take this limb first, the tree's going to shift and take out the cottage. And so he very carefully planned.
I watched him very carefully because I'm going to be dealing with trees on this property for a long time.
A lot.
And we were also fortunate that we had that machine, and the guys that we had remove the old burned roof were tree guys. Well, what do you think?
I don't know the answer to that question. I think
the aftermath of tornado oak tree.
I don't tell them it's a tornado. They'll think it was a tornado.
I know.
And the damage kind of kept compounding. Like you can see in that last shot, it also crushed our scaffolding. Like as we were removing the tree, we were like, oh, it did this and oh, it did that. It just kept kind of getting worse.
Worse and worse. And then I have to go to Baton Rouge and buy some more scaffolding.
Yes.
I mean, it's
one thing after another. But you can see here, there's part of the place that it...
There's the culprit.
Yes.
But look at those rings. Look how tight they are. Look how old that tree is.
Right. Oops.
All right.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'd say it's around 90, 95.
About 100-year-old tree?
Pretty much. 100-year-old tree, 100-year-old cottage. Planted at the same time it was built almost.
We got the decking on the porch. That was a big step. We could walk up there. I do not enjoy, I have PTSD from falling through porches.
You should.
So I did not enjoy the porch until we got the decking on.
And
Oh,
one of
that's
the other
right.
benefits of losing that was that we had taken out the windows all around the front. I think we took out 6 windows.
I was going to repair the windows.
And they were in that room that got crushed. And so now I had to find new windows. I did find some new old windows, but we had to cut the space larger.
Yes, we had to increase the size of every
There's
window.
your door, Lane.
My door from Northeast Architecture. So I saw this on Instagram. I follow Northeast Architectural in New Hampshire, and I wanted a Dutch door on the cottage, and so I ordered it from them. And when it came in, can you see the problem with the door in this shot? It was 6 inches too short.
It was it was about
Look at
5'8", 5'7", the door.
And what's bad is I thought I had checked the measurements. So you see, everybody makes mistakes. Even people who do this all the time can make mistakes. So we had to have our carpenter, John Cooper, make the door 6 inches taller. But he did, and it looks incredible.
Yes, and it looks great.
So now we've got all the new old windows in. Got the house primed.
Yeah, got the roof fixed there. It's a big job. Windows are in. It's in the dry, I guess.
It was in the dry.
And I just thought those trees were so pretty. I had to video that. So
Isn't
it's
it-
spring, right?
It's kind of fun. It's like you can see time passing because we start and it's all lush and green. It's March, and then
Yeah.
there's we're in winter clothes, and then it's coming into spring.
Now we start working on the interior, and this is our sink.
We found it at 601 Salvage. Our friend Mac over at 601 Salvage.
And it was not red, it was rusted.
Yes, that's just rust.
So we got to work on the sink, sanding with about 4 different sanders too, by the way.
It was funny. I called Mac to ask him to buy the sink, and he was like, "Are you sure you want that? You want the whole thing? Are you sure?" I told him I was going to sandblast it, and he said, "No, you don't want to sandblast that. You sandblast it, it's just going to disintegrate."
Right.
He was right.
Yeah. So we sanded it down, and then it's time for some Bondo. Tell us what you're doing, Lane.
I'm getting high on Bondo.
That's not exactly what I meant.
Okay, more seriously,
There are fumes.
there are many fumes, but we have purchased this fantastical 19 probably 50s.
Doesn't look fantastical
It
now,
is
but it will.
fantastical. This fantastical 1950s sink cabinet from our friend Mac at 601 Salvage. These are made of a really thin, almost like tin metal. So it had been sitting outside for literally eons.
Since the 1950s.
Since the 1950s, and it's rusted through. So we are going to use Bondo, which is for car bodies. It's a filling agent to fill in these rusted out parts.
Yeah. How many
I'm
miles?
telling you. I'm
how
telling
many,
you.
How many miles a gallon you think we're gonna get?
I'm getting many miles to the gallon on this fumes.
You're getting all the way.
I'm getting all the way to Natchez on these fumes. May have overdone it with my mix a little bit. But yeah, we'll
Just
fill
gonna
these
mix that
in.
in your hand, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna fill these holes in. We're gonna let it dry.
wanna
and
get a
we'll sand
cup
it
or a-
down. Why would I do that? Why would I be practical? That doesn't make any sense at all.
Oh no, it's falling.
Oh no, it's falling. So yeah, we're gonna fix it right up.
All right.
You could be on me.
You don't want like a scraper or a...
What do you think these are? These are scrapers.
I think half of it's on your gloves.
Well, probably. Hush. You know how I do. I do how I do.
I guess.
Look, and you guys out there who are like metal body pros, body shop pros watching this, like screaming at me through the screen. I don't do this professionally. This isn't what I do. I'm just trying to reduce, reuse, recycle this old piece of cabinetry. And it's gonna work out. It's all gonna be fine.
Somehow, some way, it's gonna work out.
Yep.
And look how it worked out.
And look at, I mean, it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
So it's primed now, and then you go to work on the sink itself.
Yes, which I thought it was just dirty. I really thought the enamel was there, but discovered once I got it all clean that the enamel was pretty much gone out of the bottom. So I'd never used this before, a spray epoxy enamel to re-enamel the sink. I wasn't sure how it was going to wear. I wasn't sure how it was going to clean, but so far.
Look at that.
And it has cleaned up beautifully. We've been living here, using the sink. I've cleaned the sink several times. Great.
So then we go with our color. So we've got appliances already, and they are this kind of green 50s color. And so we go to match that, and we're going to paint the cabinet that color.
Yes.
Look how pretty.
Everybody keeps asking us, what color is the front door? What color are the cabinets? Please tell us, please tell us. They're custom matched to the appliances. This is the pie safe. I bought this pie safe years ago, like
We've
probably
had it
3 or
forever.
4 years ago. We bought it from Melly with the intention of using it there. It had sat outside. It was rusted. It had 50 coats of paint on it. So again, lots of sanding, lots of prep work that went into it. We had to pull it out of the trash pile because our worker bees put it in the trash one time.
Yeah, I had somebody the other day say, you actually used that thing, didn't
Yeah,
you?
sure did.
Sure did. And there it goes into the house.
And this was what we always intended to do with it. I bought it to be a dish rack in front of a window in a historic kitchen. And so even though it's not in the historic kitchen we planned for it to be in, it did end up serving its purpose.
It just, if you watched our planning part there a minute ago, it makes a lot of sense to put in front of a window. It lets the light in. Not there because it's dark, but but it lets the light in. Now here we're going to take the sink in and put it in place. The only thing that I noticed that we did different from our planning was the sink was on the other side.
Yeah, we ended up switching. When we got the really great appliances from Unique Appliances, we decided to put one on either side to kind of balance. That's when that changed. There's my light fixtures. We went with vintage 1950s to 60s Italian Tollware light fixtures in the whole space. The two in the kitchen were gifts from my parents. The one in the living room comes from Heartland Salvage, my friends up in Pennsylvania. And then the two in the bathroom I got off of eBay. But I wanted everything to feel very cohesive because it is such a small space. Everything needs to agree. And those light fixtures, I think, are a big part of what ties it together.
They're one of the many darling features. And you can see now that we've got drywall done, we've got painting done, some of the electrical, the mini split is in.
Yeah, this is when it got really frustrating for me. I'll be honest with you, because this is the point at which it felt so close to finished. And I kept thinking, we could move in next week. We could move in next week. We could move in next week. And this video was probably shot in like January.
And here we are in August.
Yeah.
We're finally here. That's me putting on the
New
bolt.
door
New
bolt.
Yeah.
We did have to do some new brick piers, had to cut the bricks.
And we got one left to do. But here we are coming in with the stove. This is the second attempt.
Ooh, this was tight. So we still had a door stop on this door frame. We tried to come in with the stove. The door stop grabbed the handle.
Yeah.
So we had to take that off.
It was just a 1/4 inch too much,
Yes,
right?
but these appliances are the coolest, best appliances ever. Unique Appliances gave us these appliances. We still can't believe they did that. They are so good. They're such high quality, heavy, and they are a fraction of the price of the other retro style appliances. I cannot say enough great things about Unique Appliances, how great the quality, the craftsmanship, and how beautiful they are. I love them so much.
They are very, very cool.
This is not ideal because you got to work with what you can work with. In a small town like Natchez, we're doing the bathroom, and I want a shower curtain this color. There's not one to be found in all of Natchez, Mississippi, but there were some king-size bed sheets. Strange material though. So what I've done is bought king-size sheets, marked out where the grommets for the shower curtain are currently, so we've mapped those out. I'm going to attempt to punch grommet holes in this. Now this material is being very finicky. This is very easy to do on a heavier material, but we'll see how it works. So first you have to punch your hole. Hole cutter. Didn't really cut a hole. So we're just gonna move ahead. This is your grommet up. Punch through your fabric. Your grommet top, it goes rounded side up. This is way more difficult than it should be. All right, this is your grommet punch. This is what's gonna like bind the two together. Hole. So I can use it as a shower curtain. Everybody keep your fingers crossed. I have 700 of these to do.
So this is the point at which I start decorating before the house is ready to be decorated, because I get to a point where I've got to do things that are fun, or I just give up and quit.
It needed to be done at some point. But
Yes.
Yeah. And didn't that curtain come out great?
Oh, I love it. It's actually perfect. We had a little problem with the shower hooks. We had to get 2 or 3 different kinds of shower hooks, but we made it work.
And that color is perfect.
Yes. And I mean, how is it even possible that we found that color sheet in Natchez, Mississippi?
I know.
Perfect color.
This is me just doing a little bit of some
skirting.
Shelves. No, these are for the shelves. In the bathroom. And they came out great too. Matched those with the tub. The sink and toilet.
Yes, we had the most. Again, I am an antique hoarder. I have storage rooms full of things, and probably 3 years ago, I found a sink and a toilet that I wanted to use in some project somewhere. So we hauled those in from Conway, Arkansas. They were perfect. Here comes the refrigerator.
Here comes the fridge. This seemed like a big deal when we finally got it, because it sat up there for so long.
From May. We got them in May, and we didn't get to put them in until July. So
Yeah, and I mean, guys, believe me, if you like that look of the vintage appliance, uniqueappliances.com, they are fantastic and very affordable.
Very affordable. Again, compare them to the other retro style appliances. You will be blown away at the price. The quality is incredible. You know how you can just feel when an appliance is well made, when the metal is heavy, the pieces are firm and heavy and have good heft to them? Boy, they do.
And this is me. I wish I could move that fast in real life.
This project actually took all day.
Putting up a couple of ceiling fans. Look, Lane gave me an assist there.
I did. Did you see me?
Yes. Look at me flying. And use of a little trash can there.
Why not?
Yeah.
What's fun is you can see the L. In several of these shots, you can see the L progressing at the same time. You can see before the roof was on, then that roof structure's on, but there's no shingles yet.
But we're getting closer to the end now, because here's some painting. Now I wanted to get all of the spindles done because they're so hard. I wanted to spray those. So I did those before I worked on any of the body of the house.
And this was a great surprise. I had to go back to Conway for some medical tests and some stuff. And so I was gone for a week. And while I was gone, Kevin spent the entire week painting the cottage. So I left to the cottage looking a hot mess and came home to the cottage, painted this beautiful sort of fleshy pink color that we chose. This is very similar to the color of the original facade of Hope Farm, the base color. And I came back from Conway and saw it painted beautifully. It's a great surprise.
I'm glad. It was a lot of hard work, but it was satisfying. Now I'm working on the trim. One thing I was going to point out, if you guys haven't done a whole lot of painting, get the paint on there and then smooth it out. That's a tip from old Uncle Kevin. Flying again. Look how fast I am.
Don't you wish it had really gone this fast?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no. Putting together some tables.
I did badly.
You can see it's kind of coming together. The floor's in, the floor's been painted. We're almost there, people, for the afters.
Oh, we're painting the skirting. This is the very last thing we did, so we gotta be getting close.
And we've still got some of that to do, but almost there.
If you stuck with us this long, you're about to see the cottage reveal.
And again, that's the color we matched to the refrigerator. Look how pretty. Lane been painting them cabinets.
You said I had to paint the very back of the cabinet, so I had to do what I had to do to paint the very back of the cabinets. And I already painted the front of the cabinets. It's on my face too.
Huh?
It's on my face.
No.
I mean, really, I think we should give him an all over, like,
Yeah.
this is what it looks like when I paint. And that's why I'm
that's-
not a professional painter.
And that's where the term blue hair came from.
Yeah. Yes! That's where it came from. I'm a blue hair officially. Shut up.
Now, the big reveal, the before, which you couldn't even see. There was a...
The forest
Can't see the cottage for the trees.
before. Ta-da!
Ta-da! So there's my mock-up of grass. We don't actually have grass. Hopefully it will look like that when we have grass.
We wanted to have grass for you, but this is what it actually looks like right now.
This was shot today, so
Believe it or not,
exactly what it looks like.
this is the same structure.
I like this shot because you can see, I mean, it looks like Hope Farm's done too, you know, and you can see where the cottage is in relation to the main house. They just want to get in.
I know.
Too bad. I'm going to make you look at the outside. I worked too hard painting it.
Look at that porch color. I love the porch color. And my flamingo, my parents bought that flamingo for me several years ago. We had it at our house in Florida. Now we've got it here. It's like the sisterhood of the traveling flamingo. Every house we do has to have the flamingo. It was at Pearl for a while.
There's your beautiful Dutch door. I think the outside is cute as it can be, but
It
wait
is
till you get
darling.
inside. Yeah, and we're going to get some, you know, little path to the front walk and
And a fence.
And
There
some
will be grass,
grass.
I promise. So when you come and stay in our guest cottage, because this will eventually be a guest cottage, you'll have your own little yard.
all the new windows, the new old windows. But let's go inside. I know that's what they're dying to do, is get inside. Oh.
Ooh,
And after.
there she is. Now I have to give props to Kevin. I wanted to paint the ceiling initially because all I could see was how dark it was in there. And he really lobbied to keep the ceiling the dark stain, and he was absolutely correct in that decision.
Well, I'm glad you think so. There's Lane's beautiful shot through the Dutch door. I love that.
And my bear head, so that I saw in a store in Florida years ago. Didn't buy it because it was too expensive at the time. Obsessed over it, thought about it, grieved that I didn't buy it at that time, and I hunted it down on the internet and bought it. And it was with us in Florida. I wanted this space to be very whimsical and fun because it had been so dreary and so awful for so long. So I wanted you to walk in here and it just to feel happy. And I think it does.
It's so happy everywhere. We need to name this guy.
I know. I've been calling it the Love Shack. 'Cause we've got
Berry
hope
Bear.
and love.
No,
Oh,
the bear.
that guy?
Yeah, the bear and the hippo.
Now,
name everybody.
I do have to talk about the furniture too. So we had this great Victorian cottage furniture set that I bought from Edith, who actually grew up in Helen. So she grew up in Helen. She wanted to sell us this set. She brought it from Memphis to us. And so we've used it all in this cottage. We have the headboard, the dresser, the nightstand, just kind of pulling the whole space together. That's that light fixture from my friend Janet at Heartland Salvage. Just perfect in this space. The chairs I know are crazy and my little mushroom footstools, but again, I wanted just an explosion of color in the space, and I think we got that.
Yeah, that's why having the palette, the white palette of the walls, the cream palette, I guess. And there's your Dutch door again. I love the color of that door.
I do too.
And again, that's the same color, right, as our
appliances, yes.
Yeah.
And that was actually a happy accident. I thought when I was opening the can that it was the color of the ceiling of the porch. It wasn't. Discovered it was the appliances, and I loved it. That's my flower arrangement that I made. That was one of the things that also I did before it should have been done. But, you know, my mama bought me that, and I wanted a little piece of Cheryl Ann in this house.
There's our little rule of three with Atticus, Boo, and Scout.
We still have Boo and Scout. We lost Atticus a couple years ago. He was my heart dog, so having a little reminder of him in here is very special.
But you did a fantastic job with that flower arrangement.
Thank you.
And those were a birthday gift, probably 10 years ago.
At least 10, maybe longer, probably longer than that, honestly, probably 15 years ago from an artist in New Orleans. So kind of bringing them back home.
So you got a little seating area there. I mean, we made the most of the space, I think.
And I know people hate the television over the mantle, but there really is no other layout in this space that's practical and that works.
And then there's the moose I killed.
That's the only kind of trophy moose we will ever have in our house.
Yeah.
One made from poly resin. That sofa actually folds out into a bed, so when you come and stay in the cottage, you'll have a king-size bed and then the fold-out sofa bed.
Little glimpse into the kitchen there. We'll take you in there in a minute.
A lot of that art on the wall is from Olivina Boutique here in town, a Natchez retailer that we absolutely love.
Now here's the before and after of the little beds. Oh. Again, that headboard is part of the
Cottage set.
Yeah.
And then you see my fox head above it. We also bought that at the same store in Florida.
And there's the curtain divider that we talked about in the planning stage, which works great,
It's
doesn't
wonderful. You close it off, it makes it a little cave in there. It's so wonderful. There's a close-up of that beautiful headboard, and you can see where we got the color palette for the cottage. All those colors, I pulled all those colors from the cottage furniture into the space.
it? There's your little fox head.
I love my fox with the monocle.
I wish I could tell you guys how comfortable it is in here.
So wonderful.
You'll just have to book a stay. Sconce on both sides of the bed there.
And the nightstands have outlets and USB ports, so when you come and stay, you can charge your phone, plug something into the nightstand, you're good to go.
And that mini split has been fantastic.
Oh, it's so good.
Keeping us cool.
I
in this
love
hot.
this. So this is one of my favorite pieces of art I've ever had done. It says, "Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all," which is a quote from Helen Keller. And I read it many years ago, and it literally changed the way I think about doing life. It really is. That has been the thing that I've been like, well, why not? Let's do it. Let's try it. Let's give it a shot. If we fail, we fail. Let's try to fix this cottage. It's either a daring adventure or it's
cottage
nothing.
Was a daring adventure. So here's our bathroom before and after. It was rough. Of course, we flipped it to the other
I can
side.
smell it looking at that.
But there it is after you get a good idea for the sink and the toilet, those vintage.
Yes, I
Sink and
love them.
toilet.
Those are from 1926. They're actually dated 1926, so they're the same
Wow.
age as the cottage. The rugs are all vinyl rugs from Rugs Direct. Kevin bought me this picture for my birthday.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. And again, you can see we pulled all the colors from the picture into the space. Also came from Olivina Boutique.
And there's her shower curtain. It worked out perfectly.
Yes. Those are the shelves that Kevin did. He was a little concerned about the open shelving in the bathroom, but now that we have all of our bathroom stuff in those baskets, it's working great.
Love that tub. It's we do a mix of new and old, and it's a new tub. Very comfortable.
Well, it's acrylic tub. We were a little afraid to put a cast iron antique tub in the space for the weight. Again, those beautiful dark ceilings, just kind of giving some warmth to the space.
That rug is fantastic. Just kind of worked it into the room, fit perfectly.
And it's funny because I originally bought that rug for the kitchen thinking that the appliances were going to be more this kind of yellow-green tone.
yeah.
And then they came and they were not yellow-green, but it ended up being perfect for the bathroom. So used it in there.
Happy accident, wasn't it? All right,
Yes.
let's do the kitchen. You ready?
I think everybody's ready for the kitchen.
The kitchen? Oh my gosh, it was bad.
I can't believe it. Ta-da! Look at it. Look at it. It's so cute. It makes me happy to be in there. That's my Luray dish set. A lot of people have called this pastel fiesta ware. This is actually a different company. It's called Luray. I bought that set of dishes about 15 years ago from one of my favorite antique dealers. She's no longer with us. She passed away. So they're a friendly reminder of her. Those Tolware lights that my parents bought me for Christmas. Pulling all the colors together.
One over the... We were going to do a banquette, and we didn't. We did a table instead.
We just decided there wasn't quite enough room for the banquette. We don't want it to feel crowded. It's a small space. We don't want it to feel packed.
And that lets the light in exactly like you said it would, and it works perfectly.
And look at our pink microwave. Again, that refrigerator and stove just make the space. They make the space.
Some open shelving in there. I love the paper towel.
I know, we picked
Where
it up.
did you get that?
Woodville, Mississippi. We went antiquing for my birthday and I picked that up. Just kind of like saw it, was like, oh, this would be cute in the kitchen, and it's wonderful and it works perfectly.
It really works.
Again, you can't see, J&J Stone did such a good job on these countertops, and I know there's only 2 small pieces of marble in this space, but they actually laser cut that piece of marble to fit around the bricks in the fireplace. Did a gorgeous job.
Nice.
I do.
Light.
I want to talk about the curtains because these lace curtains actually came from one of our wonderful Instagram followers when I started doing vintage fabric clothes. They sent these to me to make shirts, and I ended up using them as curtains in the cottage.
And we've got the right amount. Did you have extras?
I had 2 extra.
I mean, they're perfect.
Look how great that cabinet looks. There's that other beautiful tole chandelier in the kitchen. Look, the ceiling's no longer orange.
Now, we did paint the ceiling in there.
Yeah.
Because
it was grease color.
Right. And there's your little...
My canisters, but again, I
Yeah.
bought those canisters probably 5 years ago. Didn't know what I was going to do with them. Didn't know I was buying them for this house, but I sure did.
I mean, can you believe that's the same sink?
I can't.
Just love the dishes. So easy to use. Grab them
And yes, we do use them. I've already had people ask, are you using those? Yes, used one tonight.
There's no room for extra stuff.
No.
In this tiny cottage. Haven't used the stove yet, though.
No, we may never. Who knows? Somebody will, though. Somebody will come and use
Somebody
it.
will,
There's
yeah.
plenty of pots and pans.
Definitely used the refrigerator quite a bit.
And that's another vinyl rug from Rugs Direct. Spiker is the brand on that. If anybody's looking. And no, that's not a sponsored. It's not a sponsored shout out.
No,
I paid for the
they
rug.
need to be, though. Classic from Unique.
Look at these. I love the deco feel of the handles. And the handles are like heavy. They don't feel like plastic. They're metal. I mean, they're just such good appliances.
I couldn't be happier with them. And your chickens.
I know, and I didn't know if I was going to have anywhere to use them, and I was so glad that I did. It's so fun to go shopping in my own attic and find the things that I've had forever.
Yeah.
Finally have a place to put them. Normally, I'm not a fan of exposed brick, but it works in this space.
And it was actually drywalled over.
It wasn't even drywall. Remember,
Well,
it was like
it's
that
kinda-
nasty Luan that
Oh,
had
yeah.
been, it was covered in grease. It was so gross.
So it had to go. But I like the brick. I think it's nice.
Yeah, it gives a warm element in an otherwise really cool space.
We don't show you the
closet.
laundry room and the closet.
Because it's our closet.
Yeah, and it was a mess, but it's a good use of space for sure. But it's right through that door.
And we did pull the wood tone from the ceiling of the other space. We have it on the door in the kitchen, so you do get the warmth of that.
Adorable.
I mean, I just couldn't be happier with the way it turned out. I had begun to doubt that it would ever be finished.
We're going to make you look at everything 3 times, obviously.
Sorry, not sorry.
Hopefully you're enjoying. I can't get over how well that color came out, too.
Yeah, very rarely do you get a color match that's that spot on, but
Yeah.
Sherwin-Williams did a great job for us. We
mean-
actually took the back panel of the stove.
Right.
That top panel that has the logo on it, we took that in and said, match this for us, and they did a spectacular job.
You know, and we're painting metal, we're painting wood.
and
all-
it all matches.
It all matches, yeah. Well, that's it, Lane. That's the cottage.
That is the cottage before and after. I thought that Pearl was our biggest before and after reveal that we'd done, but I would say this 600 square foot cottage takes the cake.
It was definitely the worst before and I think an adorable after.
I think so too. I couldn't be happier with it. Thanks for sticking with us this long.
I know.
This
If
was
you're
a
still
long
here,
video.
You get bonus stars. Thanks, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we did.
Did we enjoy it?
We enjoyed the ending.
We love the ending. The ending is our favorite. It's wonderful. It's a great space. Don't we love it?
We are absolutely in heaven here.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable. Having a great time with our little dogs.
I mean, and we can see the farm. We can see that we can see Hope Farm. This may be as close as we ever get to living in Hope Farm. So this is good.
Why would you say that?
It just feels like it's gonna take that
It
long.
feels like it's never going to
Yes,
happen.
it feels like it's never gonna get done. But so
Okay.
did this. So, you know,
Thanks for being here. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed, because there's a lot of great content here. And we'll see you next time.
and don't forget, there's no such thing as a teardown.